Alright, what's up? August, back again. Check this out. We're going to call this next section health and fitness. Okay? So, let's get right to it. Should one train before they attempt to thru-hike, to go on the trail? Like I said before, there's no such thing as a dumb question. But that one right there is like, whew, right on the line. The question is, yes, of course, you do want to train before you get on the trail. And the degree in which you train will have a direct reflection on how long it takes you to recover day after day after day as you do your hike. Now, a good question would be like, well, what do you suggest I do before hiking the trail? As far as exercises and things of that nature. Well, I gotta qualify my suggestions first. In the time that I've hiked the trail, I've seen people as young as 16. And I've seen them as old as 83. So anything that I suggest at this point is going to be relative to the fact that can a 16 and both an 83-year-old do it? You know, because like I said, I got to be non-biased, and I'm trying to be as inclusive as I can. In this case, the answer is yes. So what do I suggest? I suggest you do either or both yoga and Pilates. All right. What does that mean? Stretch or calisthenics. What does that mean as far as calisthenics? Push-ups, sit-ups, you know, jumping jacks, deep knee bends. Okay, that's something that everybody can do, and in doing those things, it can only aid in your preparation as far as getting physically fit for the trail. Okay, and I gotta tell you, you know, take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've seen one other guy, and I don't know, I hope I'm not putting myself up on some pedestal, and I hope I'm not putting anybody down, or it's just going to come off negative, but I'm just saying, I've seen one other guy that actually trained, that admitted, yeah, I trained, this was my regiment, and I got to tell you, I mean, the dude was a train going down a trail. It was obvious that he trained, you know what I'm saying? But it just seems like that I'm the exception, that me and this other guy was the exception. What it appears, okay, I don't know if it's true, but what it appears to me is that people will go, you know, leave work, see you boss, I'm on the trail now, go home, get their pack, and just step right onto the trail. You know, in whatever shape they were in, they go right into it, you know. And there's a myth out there. Most people think, oh, well, I'll just lose weight on the trail, you know. I don't have to worry about it. I just figure, well, by the time I get off the trail, I'll be in shape. That's a myth, man. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna break yourself before you transform yourself. Okay, like I said, you know, the body's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's a very sensitive, you know, piece of it's a very sensitive mechanism. You know what I mean? And if you don't care that much that you set yourself up for failure like that, it's just, you know, you get what you pay for. You know, now granted, that's not really what the message is, because what I'm about to tell you right now is probably the most serious thing that I can tell you, and it does bear mentioning. And to be honest with you, it's going to sound diametrically opposite to what I just said, but still, take heed. You know, pay attention to it. The worst thing you can do once you get on the trail, once you start hiking, the worst thing you can do at that point is continue to exercise, like after your hike or before your hike. Now, in all the time that I've been on a trail, I injured myself 7 times, okay? And all of these injuries were self-inflicted, okay? It had nothing to do with the trail itself. I didn't fall, I didn't cut myself, I didn't like make a fire and set myself on fire. These were all self-inflicted wounds when I thought I was doing something good for myself, okay? One time, it was so bad, I had to ditch my gear, hike to a roadside, hitchhike to a hospital, and be seen by a doctor. It was that bad. Now, this is what I did. Okay, I'm all about fitness. I mean, it's just like a bug. It's like a drug. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I do. When I'm not on the trail, I'm working out. And as a youth, you know, 10 years ago, you know, I mean, I've been doing this all my life. But as a youth, what I would do is I would prepare for the trail. And then when I get on the trail, I would hike 5-10 miles, right? And then when I'm done, I'd set up my tent and everything, and then I'd go off like an idiot, go in the corner and start doing push-ups. Instead, I'll just start working out. You know what I mean? And I'd get up in the morning, you know, and I'd start working out. I'd start stretching, and you know, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like you're in the military. They teach us when you're doing PT, before you do PT, before you make your run, you got to stretch. You got this and the other. And I'm on the bandwagon. I believe in that, and I still testify to that. But I'm gonna tell you, when you're hiking, when you're through hiking, when you're on the trail, beware. Okay? And this is. I'm gonna tell you like this, and then I'll put it another way. Okay? When you're through hiking, it's like you're a shapeshifter. You're turning into, we'll say, a werewolf. Okay? So now you're through hiking, the full moon's out, and now all of a sudden you just start to turn into a werewolf. Okay? Now you're like a beast. You're on the trail. Okay? This is what you're doing. Now when you're done hiking, it's still a full moon. You know you're gonna turn human, but it's still a full moon. You get done hiking, you put your pack away, and then you start stretching. You start stretching as if you're human. You start causing all your muscles and everything to go back to where it was before you started hiking, before you turned into a wolf, and you're doing this as a wolf. Okay? Dude, I hope this is not sounding crazy. But this is what I'm saying, dude. When you through hike the trail, your body changes. And I'm telling you again, the body is a boy, it's an extremely amazing thing. For example, let's say you're 6'2". By the time you get to the halfway point, you're 6 foot. By the time you get to Maine, you're gonna be under 6 feet, you know, and your body compresses, because you got to think about it. When you go to the trail, think of yourself as being rubber, you know, Gumby. You know, that's just what you are. You're rubber, you're Gumby, you're plastic, man. Your body is behaving the way that it normally does. It's already adjusted. It's already okay. Sea level, gravity, you know, at what, you know, 72 degrees outside, at sea level, at blah blah blah. This is how we're gonna operate, and this is how your body operates. It's how your heart rate goes down. It's how you bend. It's how you know what I'm saying? Atmosphere, pressure, everything works with you. Now, when you get on that trail and you start through hiking, as you're hiking, your body starts transforming. It just starts transforming. You compress. You turn from rubber to stone, okay? But that stone is not a solid rock. It's limestone. It's sheetrock, and that's the very flaky kind of rock, okay? And it's doing that for your own protection. The worst thing you can do, okay? The worst thing you can do is get finished hiking and try to make your body return to its former self. Ask yourself this: how can you restore in 5 minutes, a 5-minute stretch routine, what took your body days to transform into? You can't. And when your body's locked up like this and you start stretching it and trying to make yourself work, it's just like limestone. You hit it in the right place, you're going to crack something. You're going to pop something. You're going to break something. And that's exactly what I did 7 times. Different occasions, and I'm just sitting here like myth, like, how is this possible? I'm healthier than that. How did I tear this? How did I rip that? How did I break that? I was just stretching. So I gotta tell you, from the time I don't care what kind of, I don't care if you're an aerobics trainer, I don't care if you are health guru, whatever. When you get on that trail and you start through hiking, all you need to do is hike. I don't want to see you stretching. Well, excuse me, I'm not in the military. You don't need to be stretching, okay? You don't need to do no push-ups. You don't need to do anything, because I'm telling you, man, all you're gonna do is hurt yourself. You may get away with it a few times, and it's just the simplest movement. You've done this movement a million times. You call yourself doing it, you're gonna break yourself, okay? Now, is there anything wrong with getting a massage? No, that's deep tissue. Tissue has nothing to do with muscle and tendon and gristle and all this other stuff. And I'll tell you one more thing. The whole chiropractic stuff, you know, the worst thing you can do is tell somebody to like pop your back. You know how you do in, like, you know, football and everything, they catch you. Don't do anything that has to do with joint alignments. Don't mess with your bones. If you want a massage, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But anything other than, you know, stretching and all that, don't mess with it, you know. I've run 2 marathons, okay, and it's not the same. You stretch before the run, you stretch after the run. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. But man, you're talking months, you're talking weeks, you're talking all this time on the trail, and your body is transforming. I mean, I think I'm starting to harp on it, but you know, trust me, 5 miles, 10 miles, taking a 0 day, it's enough. Okay, ladies, if you're coming out there and you think, well, hey, you know, I feel good today. Let me do some jumping jacks. So let me do this. Leave it alone. Okay. After about 2 months, not even that. After about a month, you're gonna feel naked without your pack. Okay. You're gonna walk different. You're gonna be like doing a resupply in town. You're gonna take your pack off, and it's gonna be like you're on the moon. You're gonna be bouncing. Your whole gait's gonna change. You know, it's just like your body is turning to like a Cro-Magnon kind of like, you know, primitive form. And it's funny because you got to think about these elevations you're going through. Your breathing is going to change. Your feet are going to change. You know, you'll start the trail size 10. You get to the tide and you're a size 13. You know, the width of your feet. Everything is just, and these are just the conscious things. You know, I wasn't aware of the internal things going on until I kept breaking myself. And it's funny. Because, you know, the doctors ain't even mentioning this stuff. It's like, what happened? Oh, I don't know. I did this and I did that. Well, what were you doing beforehand? Well, I'm a thru-hiker. It doesn't click. No one said anything. And it was an epiphany one day. I just figured it out. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I figured it out. And I was like, oh, you know. And from that point, I mean, it's just like rhyme of the ancient mariner. You know, anytime I go down the trail and I see people stretching, I'm like, whoa, boy, you don't want. Now I'll be like, are you a thru-hiker? Or they'll be like, oh no, we're out for the day, and knock yourself out. You know, but I see a thru-hiker, I'll be like, man, that's the worst thing you can do for yourself. And they're like, what do you know? I'm blah blah. Okay, cool, knock yourself out. You know, but you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. I think I said enough on that. Yeah, and this was the health and fitness segment out here.